Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here. Talk about perfect timing. Hello to all of my old, new, and other viewers. It is time for the Season 2 of Up From the Underground finale, and who would have thought that it actually would end up being my 100th episode? 100 episodes! I sure as heck better make this one count. Of course, if you don't know what my finale is about, there will be a link to the Season 1 finale. This is where I take a look at every movie, every music album, every single, everything pop culture that I have been ranting and raving about for the past 365 days to you, and now it is time to give you my choices for the best of 2012. Just for all of you who are newcomers, they come in 4 categories: Film of the Year, Album of the Year, Single of the Year, and Best Television Show of the 2011 and 2012 season. So, without further ado, we begin. The nominees for Best Film of 2012 are Argo, directed by Ben Affleck; The Avengers, directed by Joss Whedon; Lincoln, directed by Steven Spielberg; The Perks of Being a Wallflower, directed by Stephen Chbosky; Wreck-It Ralph, directed by Rich Moore. Each and every one of these a fantastic movie, but I just felt such a connection with The Perks of Being a Wallflower. And even if you didn't read the book, because I didn't, I was blown away by the acting, by the story. I haven't related to a movie like this in such a long time. Like, I can definitely understand these characters. Like, I felt like these were people that I knew in my life. It was just a fantastic, fantastic movie, and I found out that it's being released on DVD in February. I cannot wait to get it. The nominees for Best Television Show of the 2011-2012 season are Game of Thrones Season 2, starring Peter Dinklage and Lena Headey; Girls Season 1, starring Lena Dunham and Allison Williams; Homeland Season 1, starring Claire Danes, Damian Lewis, and Mandy Patinkin; The Newsroom Season 1, starring Jeff Daniels, Emily Mortimer, Allison Pill, and John Gallagher Jr.; Shameless Season 2, starring William H. Macy and Emmy Rossum. I'm so glad that I actually ended up watching the winner of this year's television shows. It's The Newsroom Season 1, and why wouldn't it be? I mean, it may not be your cup of tea if you're not into politics or current event stories and whatnot, but it's a brilliantly written show, well acted, great storyline. It gave me a lot of wow moments, especially when it came to the developing stories of current events that I remember. I knew where I was in certain points in time. I knew I was following these stories. It's a great show, and I cannot wait for Season 2. The nominees for Best Album of 2012 are Scars and Stories by The Fray, Some Nights by Fun, Trey by Green Day, Battleborn by The Killers, North by Matchbox 20. Oh my goodness, I never experienced an amazing year for music. I mean, we had a post-grunge alternative, aka late 90s comeback. Monster comeback! So many bands that I grew up with were back making CDs. Everclear, Smashing Pumpkins, Eve 6, Matchbox 20, The Cranberries, they were there, and they were good, and they were, oh my goodness, mind explosion. But the best album of the year was an album that actually came out at the very beginning, and usually things that come out in the beginning of the year, in any form, usually get shunned and ignored when things come out in the end of the year. But not this time. Scars and Stories by The Fray. It still is the best album that I've heard this year. I listened to it when I made my decision, along with the other 4 nominees, and all I had to do was hear Rainy Zurich and Munich. And that was it. It's a great album. You gotta listen to it. And The Fray just keeps getting better and better. The nominees for Best Single of 2012 are Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen, Lights by Ellie Goulding, We Are Young by Fun, Domino by Jessie J, Gangnam Style by Psy.
Isn't it obvious? Oppan Gangnam Style. Intended to not even be what it was, it is the first YouTube video to reach 1 billion hits. It is a funny song. It's catchy. You could hate it if you want, but I loved it. And I just don't think there's ever going to be a song that just causes so many people to turn their heads like this one. And I don't think there ever really has been. At least I can't remember. If you do know, put a statement in the comments below. Another year has gone. Thank you so much to everybody who has been giving me feedback, commenting, subscribing, tagging, responding. It was an amazingly fun year. I enjoyed every minute of it, even though I'm literally about to fall off of my chair out of sheer fatigue. But I am looking forward to a strong 2013, so much in store. The trailer will be up right after New Year's. And I think it's going to be a great season. So in this point in time, Happy New Year, and thank you all for sticking with me. Thank goodness the apocalypse chose to pass us by, and I will see you in 3 weeks.